Okay, so turn that on.
I'll put on my charming face.
And personality. Okay. Okay, so let's go. So we're going to talk about Bilsons. I guess the first thing is, how did that come about? You'd had a long association with Tony. Do you want to just talk about that association?
Well, because I had done stuff for Tony and Gay at Berowra Waters, colours for them, and then did Kinsella's.
No, of course, yes.
For Tony,
Yes.
which was quite a big project. Excuse me.
And that was with George Friedman, Glenn Murcutt and Michael Davies, was it? Who was it?
Michael Davies sort of did the production drawings.
Yes.
Glenn designed the staircase and some, did sort of general planning.
Yes.
Because it was the Leon Fink project.
Yes. Yes.
And Glenn, did all, I guess the general planning of the upstairs, level 3, the theatre and bar.
Yes. It seems so un-Glenn, doesn't it? Now that we look at his amazing career, it seems strange doing a conversion of a funeral parlour to a nightclub when he's done such different work, isn't it?
His hand was sort of delicate, and the main contribution from memory was the stair and the kind of planning. And Michael sort of took the thing, did the production drawings and nursed it through council and all the supervision. And our role was basically surface decorations, colours and the mirrors and things. And that was really a great fun adventure.
Mm-hmm. And that was Leon's building, and
Leon
then Tony,
the building.
and then Tony was doing the food.
And then Leon lured Tony away from Berowra, which caused a great schism between him and Gay. Gay felt totally abandoned in that respect, and was really quite furious. And then, in a sense, concentrated so much on Berowra and turned it into the best restaurant in the country.
That's a lovely outcome.
And it's an extraordinary thing that just sort of shifted it up a notch. And Tony turned Kinsella's into this magic place.
Yes.
And it really was kind of the center of the universe for a whole section of the eastern suburbs.
Yeah. And one has to think back what restaurant culture was then, because it really was almost non-existent, wasn't it?
No. There was really quite. There was Darcy's and
Chez Oz then? Chez Oz would have been going there, wouldn't it?
No. Chez Oz came later.
Yeah. Bayswater Brasserie, would that have been going?
Bayswater Brasserie, I think, came just on the coattail.
Right.
Might have been parallel.
Yeah. But if you think of the prevalence of restaurants now, and good restaurants, compared to then, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, in that sense, there were not other restaurants of the class of Berowra in Sydney, really. I think there was one. One of the hotels had a good restaurant, and then the chapel section of Berowra of Kinsella's.
There you go.
Good morning.
It's the mailman.
I hadn't realised today was the day. Good morning. Now I'm.
Oh, by the way, I had to collect mail from
The
Post
post
office.
office.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do that. Distraction. So, the Kinsella's was sort of the double thing. There was the chapel, which was the high end of wonderful food, and then the outer cafe, which was much easier food. You can get a hamburger and steak tartare.
Yeah. And then the next level was eating as well, was it, or bar? And then the nightclub at the top, or
There was
like
a
a
bar.
theatre. Yes.
Yeah, but there was a sushi bar, which was Japanese. It's one glorious restaurant in town.
Not Tetsuya.
Hmm?
Not Tetsuya.
Tetsuya.
Oh, wow.
That was his first job.
Oh, you're kidding. Wow.
No, the sushi chef.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he could hardly speak English.
Yes.
And he was sort of taken under the wing of Tony, and really very much under the wing of Armando Pucurco, who sort of nurtured him. And
At Kinsella's?
at Kinsella, well, he was Tony. He wasn't there, but he befriended him, and eventually got him to open his restaurant in Roselle or wherever.
Yes, that's right. Yes, on the yeah.
Anyway, so then the key, Bilson's came about. It was a maritime services property.
Yes.
And so there was, a good bid for it.
Yes.
And so we were part of the Tony's team.
Yes.
It was us. And Tony's brief was he wanted the adventure of going to the arriving at the restaurant in a sense of kind of repeat of going to Barawa, of getting on a boat, going across the border and arriving there. And so the procession into the restaurant, in a sense, tried to not replicate, but honor that in terms of the rotunda being the boat, the ramp and steps up being the arrival, and then the compressed space at the reception desk, and then the sort of lineal alley into the restaurant was the river, and then you opened up into the restaurant. So that was, in a sense, the kind of reference.
Yes, lovely. And just tell me a bit. And where did Leon make the pitch and bring you guys in, or was it Tony brought Leon in? How did that, or were they working together?
I think they were working together.
Yep.
It was very much a parallel. It was a kind of thing from Kinsella's to this.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to Bilson's in a minute. And then how did you met? Did you meet Tony in doing Kinsella's?
No, because we had met because we had
Barawa.
done Barawa, and we had met them very, very early on when Tony and Gay had Tony's Bon Gu, which was just around here.
Yes.
And that's when we first met them. And I think it was, we kind of became friends through Lynn Clark. When we first became friends prior to Barawa.
Yes.
And so it was a social introduction.
Yeah. Okay. And then at Barawa, the building was done by Glenn?
Glenn did the building, and I just did some paint colours for them.
Yeah.
A couple of internal colours. I think picked tiles for the
Yes.
toilets, and an exterior wall was a jacaranda colour.
Yes. Yes.
There was not a great involvement. It really was just paint colours more than anything else.
Yes.
And chairs and floor covering.
Mm-hmm.
I think it had sisal matting from memory.
That's right. Yeah, I seem to remember that. Yeah. And just while we're on it, in terms of meeting people, did you meet Leon through Kinsellers, or did you know him before?
No. Neville knew Leon for ages. All part of that, the Sydney push. With Margaret Fink, who was Leon's wife.
Yes.
At the time.
Yes.
And it was all part of that rather incestuous Woollahra push.
Yes. And then did you meet Glenn at Kinsellers, Glenn Murcutt? Is that when your association started? Because you've done a lot of buildings together, haven't you?
No, we had met. We met Glenn beforehand. I'm trying to think. He was. I wonder if I'm getting this correct. He was doing a house for a judge in John Street, Woollahra, and he recommended us to do the interiors for them. But there was also another connection. I think Neville knew or had met the couple elsewhere before, so it was a kind of easy.
Yes.
I think. No, the first was for Barry O'Keefe.
In the city? His chambers?
Clifton Gardens.
Okay.
That's how we met Glenn, because we had done Barry's chambers in Phillip Street, and then Barry asked us to do stuff for the house, and Glenn was doing the house, and that's how we got. I'm pretty sure that was how we got together.
Roughly, what year do you think that would have been?
Oh, the 70s.
Wow.
Mid 70s, something like that.
Yes. Okay, and then just while we're on,
a while ago.
well, yeah, just just on Glenn, you did that project, the O'Keefe House. You did Barara Waters.
The house in John Street, Woollahra.
Is that the one that looks over the park there by who's the solicitor on the television?
No, this is John Street, Woollahra. You know where Queen Street is? It's the next street.
Oh yes.
After, and it goes between starts at Ocean Street and goes through past Moncur for another block.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
And it's in the block between Moncur and Ocean Street.
Yes.
This house.
Yeah.
Just been sold again. Someone did a renovation on it and sort of really destroyed the facade. And I believe the intention is to re-Murcuttize it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But Glenn will be involved, or whether these people will try and sort of go back to what they believe was there.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
It's just that I was with somebody, Andy Bryan, and we were walking down, parked to go to lunch at Bistro Moncur. We were walking down, and then people's neighbors were there, and the two of us commented that's the Glenmurcutt house, and so we got the gossip.
Oh yes, yes. Yes. But you can find out from the neighbours. Yes. And then other projects you did, Cathedral Street, your offices in Cathedral Street with Glenn?
With Glenn, and then after that was Cleveland Street.
Cleveland Street, yeah.
There was the Kempsey Museum.
Oh, I didn't know that, yeah. Was that Colours and Finishes?
Colours
again?
and Kempsey Museum.
Yep. And then you did the house in Queen Street? Queen Street, Queen's Park Road, Queen's Park?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You did that with Glenn?
with Glenn.
And then he did a restaurant, Zachary's, up in Terry Hills. Did you do anything on that?
Nothing to do with
Nothing
that.
on that, no.
And he did it, but in a sense, I think he didn't finish it, and it was sort of finished by somebody else.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it wasn't quite Glenn.
Yeah.
I don't think he was. I believe he was not happy with
Yes,
the results. I
Yeah.
might be talking out of turn.
yes, yes. We're slowly getting towards Bilson's.
Yes,
But that reminds me on the way that would be one thing we could talk about is Cathedral Street and Cleveland Street. Okay, so at some time we can come back to those. But I just want to keep going to Bilson's, and so that's yes, involvement with Glenn. So just interested when how you met people, and then did you do something else for Tony before Bilson's? Didn't he have a or was that after he had a restaurant?
That was after.
After, yeah.
After there was Finn Bush.
Finn Bush, that's right. Yes.
In East Sydney.
Palmer Street or something, or Riley, one of those ones coming up, wasn't it?
There.
Yeah.
Not Riley. 1, 2, 3 up or something after Forbes. I think the one after Forbes.
Yeah.
Or before Forbes.
Before Forbes, yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, we had proposed pink ostrich vinyl for the banquettes, and then we ordered the fabric in, and then they chickened out.
Yeah. This is the one down there. Yeah.
Finn Bush. But with Bilson's, it was a competition.
Yes.
And so we had to do a sort of very elaborate presentation. And Ralph did the pencil rendering for the drawings, for the sections and the
Yes, I remember.
plans,
Yes,
and they were
quite beautiful.
exquisite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just let me turn this off. I've got to stop and start.